We're waiting to see if the same scenario that occurred last night will occur also this evening. The hostages last night were only released around midnight, and the Palestinian prisoners were released after that. And the final agreement to the list of hostages that Hamas had given this list to the Israelis to approve was not approved until close to 7 in the morning, when, if it was not approved, the war would be restarted. So we're hoping that the list will be approved, the hostages will be released, and the ceasefire will continue.
Ricki, as we just mentioned about this tragedy of the 3 Israelis that were killed this morning and 8 wounded, how are Israelis reacting to that attack?
They are seeing the attack as a clear signal from Hamas that even when there is a ceasefire in Gaza, they will not cease their attacks in the rest of Israel. This was not even in the West Bank or East Jerusalem. It was in the center of Jerusalem. And they say that the 2 gunmen were affiliated with Hamas, and that the attack was in revenge for other Hamas gunmen who were killed by Israeli troops in Jenin yesterday.
Now, we just mentioned about Secretary of State Antony Blinken meeting with Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu. What more are you learning about that meeting?
Well, Secretary of State Blinken has reiterated to Netanyahu that they want the ceasefire to continue, both in order to allow more hostage releases and more humanitarian aid. And if and when the war is resumed, they're trying to encourage Netanyahu to be more careful, aware of civilian casualties in Gaza. Netanyahu has assured Blinken that the war will in fact resume, and Netanyahu is under a lot of pressure from the hardline members of his coalition, who said that if the war is stopped, they will bring down the government. And this is something that Netanyahu can't afford. Tomorrow, actually, his trial on corruption charges begins again after a break because of the war.